Welcome back to the farmstead. I'm Teresa. The grandkids call me Nana. And today I am embarking on a project that I have been putting off for a little while. I am going to clean out and organize the pantry that is in my kitchen. Now, we have lived here for about 20 years. And over the 20 years, I venture to say that this area has gotten as much or more use than any other room in the house. We are always in and out of this pantry. But over time, I have noticed that the way we use it and the things that we keep in here have changed. When we first moved here, our kids were teenagers, so we had teenager stuff and more junk food, I will admit. But over time, the kids are grown. They all moved off, except for one. He's back for a little while. But now we've got some grandkids. They're always wanting something to eat. And so it's time to redo this. Now, the way we eat has changed as well. We are going towards a more gluten-free diet. Some of those choices are better for us than other things. And so that's what we're doing. We're making that change. So some of the things that I have that I've used for all these years are getting swapped out for gluten-free things. So this is going to be a several-day process. Today, I'm going to show you where we're starting. Then on another day, we'll come in, we'll clean it out, we will clean it, and we'll start restocking. But in the meantime, I'm going to look through today, decide what all I need to get to help me accomplish my goal of getting this to be stocked up with the things that we use all the time. Now, I will say there's not a light in here. So I hung one of my little camping lights in here. But as I was doing that, I thought, now they make those rechargeable lights, and I have one in the camper. So what I may do is order some of those stick lights that I've seen go under cabinets, but I may put them in here so that when I come in, I can just push that, turn on the light, and we'll shed a little more light on our subject here. So that's a thought. I am going to get some more of the clear bins like I've been using in the pantry room. I'm going to get some of those to put some stuff in. I've been buying some of these, and these have been helpful in keeping some things. So we'll see how many of these I got, and I might get a couple more of those. And I'm going to be labeling them. I've got my little label maker so I can make little labels for them. I have a 2-gallon bucket up top where I'm keeping self-rising flour. Papa's found a recipe for biscuits that use self-rising flour, so I'm keeping that in here for him. It's almost getting to be baking season, so I may move my brown sugar bucket in here as well. But some of these things that I thought we would use all the time and that I put in here, I don't use. I use them very rarely. So I'm going to move those to the pantry room and then bring in some stuff that I do use all the time. Kind of swap them out. I've got down here on the bottom shelf, I have this tray of jarred things. I need to go through that, and we need to use up these things. So I'm going to have that out on the counter. I do know that. So some of the other things that are in here just need to be sorted through, like I say, moved in there. Some things brought in here, and we'll get all that accomplished. But for now, I'm going to order me some bins. I'm going to see if I can find me a light. I'm going to count how many of these I have and see if I think I may need more of those. I put in an order for Azure Standard, and that'll be coming in about a week. So we're going to put some of those things in here. And we'll see where else the journey takes us. But for today, here's where we're starting. Here we are, ready to do this. First thing we're going to do is clean all of this out. We're going to move it over to the bar. We're going to organize it. I bought some bins. I bought some 2-gallon buckets. We've got some other stuff over there that we're going to use to get it organized. And we're only going to put back in what we really use all the time. We're going to bring some stuff from the pantry room to put in here. We're going to take some of this and put it in there. So, let's get started. Okay, got all that cleaned out. We're going to let those shelves dry good, and in the meantime, we're going to start organizing all this. Now I've got some bins, some plastic bins that I bought. I'm going to put some of this stuff in there, and then I'm going to label it, and we're just going to see where it takes us. I have a bucket I'm going to put brown sugar in. I'm going to set that to the side. I have a bucket for powdered sugar. If I don't, I bought some. I think this one I needed one for. And then this is popcorn. Oh, I know what I was going to use. Is one that I keep in the pantry room. I've been keeping in the pantry room, but I go to it all the time. It's got my sprays, my cornbread mix, and so this one I'm getting in all the time. So this is definitely one that needs to come in here. All right, so we can put our cornbread mix in here. I've got my Jiffy, I've got my Mexican cornbread, I've got my Pamela's in here. I'm going to put my popcorn in here. Papa likes to keep these handy in case he wants a snack watching Westerns on a Saturday or Sunday. Right there in the front. Perfect. So these are going in. Let me make sure this is going to fit beside it. Perfect. Okay, so this will fit right beside it. Now, what else do I use? Breadcrumbs. I do use the breadcrumbs pretty often. Those in there. This is my onion soup mix that I make up. This one I do use. But I also have mushroom and chicken. And these I do not use very often. So these may need to go to the other room. So we're going to put those in there. I got some noodles that I've wandered in here and I don't use those. Those need to go. Here's some little stars that I put in my chicken soup. Here's some applesauce that needs to go back there. I have Nutella. There's 2 of these somewhere. There it is. The grand girl loves this, so we need to keep this handy. So keep that in there. My rice cakes, so keep those handy. Those are my snacks. How many packages of crackers do we have open? We eat saltines without the salt. So I keep those stocked up. Those are one of my definite pantry staples. So we're going to put those back up in their corner where they go. Okay, next is going to be cereal. We keep cereal. More crackers. More crackers. See, I need to organize. Cereal, there's like 1 bowl of this left, so that'll be a good breakfast. The rest of these I'll put up there where we can get to it. So here is an example of how our things have changed over the last year or so. This is a bucket of self-rising flour. And Papa uses this with his new favorite biscuit recipe. So this one is going to stay in here. I'm also going to add a bucket with brown sugar because it's getting to be baking season and I'll be using that a lot. So the self-rising flour, brown sugar. I have ordered from Azure, which is coming in next week. I have ordered baking flour, which is gluten-free, a gluten-free bread mix, some hot cereal, gluten-free, blackberries, and brown rice. So the baking flour I definitely want to start keeping in here. I've got a bucket for it and probably the bread mix. So I'm going to leave room for those. Now this one already has a label on it, on the top and on the side. And I will label the other buckets as I get stuff in them. All right, so let's start with this one. Which way is that label? That way. Here's a hint for you. Put it where your handle is down like this if it's on a higher shelf, and it helps you get it down. I've been buying stevia in big bags like this at Aldi, and this works really well for us. I have several of these, and I'm probably going to put those in a bucket. So there's that. Bucket. I have washed all of these and dried them good. That one needs to be wiped out a little bit. Alright, So in this bucket, we're going to put our powdered sugar. After we get all done, I'll go get my labeler. I'll make a label, put on it. I brought me a notepad so I can make a note of all the labels I need to make. Alright. I also have some jars of powdered sugar that I'm going to add to this from the pantry room. But I'm going to put this on the bottom and I'm going to put that on the top so that we use the older sugar first. This way, go get my jar. This, we are ready for baking season for sure. I think that's all that's going to fit. I'll keep this in the jar and use it up first. Alright, we're going to keep this in the jar and use it up first. Lid. Snap on our lid. Alright, there we go. Up in the cabinet it goes, and I'm just going to keep working on this. Some of these, when I bought these, I thought, I'm going to put the label on this side. Well, turns out, I like to have this side facing out so I can grab the handle. So I'm going to need to make new labels. Not a big deal. So next week when I get the gluten-free flour and the bread mix, I'll put those in here. But I think I'm going to leave this just like it is for now. I am going to get my brown sugar all together and move it in here. But for now, I do have the lights, the little sticker lights to stick on the inside here. They're motion activated. I can recharge them when I need to. And those should be here later today, so we'll get those put on. But for now, I'm just going to get the other stuff moved to the pantry room. But I do have the one thing I do have let me show you. Here's the leftovers. This is a tray of jars of things that I either need to put with light things in their pantry room or we need to use up. I've got some jellies, apple butter that my daughter makes for Papa. I don't even try. She makes the best. We let her do it. So there's that. We've got some ground beef we can use. We've got some chicken sausage we need to use up. We've got some cubed chicken, like for chicken salad and things like that. Have a little thing of chili. We had frito pie last night. Could have used this. We've got some pork breakfast sausage, some more beef, some beef roast, more beef roast, and more chicken sausage. So we'll get all these sitting together. And I'm going to leave these sitting out on the counter until I use them up. Except for the apple butter I'm going to put in there on the jelly shelf. So, okay. So for now, we're good. We wait till we get the other things in and we'll pick up where we left off. I am just back from meeting the Azure Standard truck, and he brought good things. Those guys, they're the best. They're always professional. They're always on time, even early. The truck is in immaculate shape. It's clean. They help unload. Everything's what it needs to be. So, shout out to the shipping and truck drivers from Azure Standard. Good people. But here's what I got today. I got a case of Pamela's bread mix, gluten-free. Excited to try making my own bread. I got brown rice. I got a box of blackberries for the freezer. I got plain gluten-free floured. This is a 1-to-1 exchange for all-purpose flour, so easy to use. I can't tell the difference in the taste. And some hot cereal. Now this is your hot, like creamy, wheaty cereal. I like it. Don't like me so much. So we're going to give this one a try. This is a gluten-free variety. So now I've got the cabinet ready to put these in, and I'll show you that. Are you ready for this? Voila! Light on the subject. How about that? I got 2 stick lights. I got one for each side. They work great. You should have seen my family's first time they wandered into the pantry, and I didn't tell anybody I was doing this. What I'll do for a few laughs. Anyway, they're working great. So, there we go. I ended up with 6 buckets, brown sugar, powdered sugar, stevia, the self-rising flour, the bread mix I'm going to put in here, and the gluten-free flour. I've already got some in there. So, that's all done. I've got labels for my bottles. I made labels for my plastic ones and put them on this side. And it's been 2 or 3 days, and so far, it's working great. I'm going to keep our fingers crossed. I've warned the family, don't mess with my space. So, we'll see what happens. But it is a great feeling to have it done. So, from messy to organized with the things that we use all the time. Took some time, took some thought, took a few days, bought a couple of things, but in the long run, I think it's going to work out great. Now I'm sure that our taste will change over time, and we'll do this again. But in the meantime, I think we got a pretty good thing going on. So, I hope I've inspired you to do a little organizing around your place and make it a little easier for you especially, but your family as well. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.